Welcome to Bear Essentials, and I am Bear Byers.
I want to thank you ahead of time for watching. If you enjoyed this, please share it. Please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe and please support the program. The reason why we make this program is to show the hard work of the people that are making videos for you, the players, every week. It's taking the time to record, document, narrate, teach, instruct, show, or just demonstrate different aspects of the game. And onto the statistics. There were 387 videos made by 103 different content creators for 1,040 points. These points are not up to what the best weeks were, but it was slightly better than last week. There was 9 guide videos, 8 exotic videos, 7 videos about gears and talents, 3 about the DZ. Now, one of the biggest ones was the seasons and the leagues had 33 videos because of the Hollywood Global event that week. So it was really popular, with 300 videos being made by one person. There were 60 raid videos, 64 build videos, which was down from last week, 12 news videos, and NGN did a great story video this week. There were 44 vendors videos, which is slightly up from last week, 17 commentaries, 98 streams, which is way down from last week's 213. And then there were 18 general category videos. That's the statistics for week 19. So now comes the time in the program that we're trying to figure out who made the top 13. Were there more than 13 people made the top 13, which means somebody was tied at 13th place? Who was in first? Who was in second? These are the questions that run through each person's head. And we're going to start at 13th, which is Nothing But Skills. But before we go into his breakdown of how he did, let's touch on a very touchy subject for some of our viewers. They wonder why some people like WIDS or Solid FPS or Sleepio or even Nothing But Skills is even mentioned in the countdown. Now, those for you that don't know, some of these guys were confessed or were involved with a team that seemed to have extra information for the raid. It does seem that there was some cheating going on, maybe some help from somebody else. Now, that was denied by Hamish, that he gave these guys nothing, even though he was a member of WIDS's group on PC. Now, it's great that developers play with the content creators or even an average player. It would be nice if somebody like with Hamish would jump from group to group and kind of give each team a little experience and things like that. But when it comes to something so important as the raid, it definitely casts some doubt on how valid the first or even the second run through was done. And the reason why Nothing But Skills is up here is because he did 7 videos last week, got himself 20 points, and nobody has proven that he did anything wrong. Now, some of you have made up your mind, but we do live, or I do live in America, and there is a process. And until that process goes through, we're not going to ban somebody until it's proven that they are actually guilty of something. So even if you don't like them, even if you feel that they're doing other games, which Nothing But Skills is, he's not making videos like he used to or like other people do. He's on the countdown, and he earned himself to be on this countdown by making 2 different exotic videos, both about things that were found in the new raid, a gear video, a build video, a commentary, a vendor, and a generalized. So the exotic's getting 4 points apiece, the gear gets him another 4 points, the build 3, the commentary 2, the vendor 2 points, and the generalized video gets him 1 point, for a total of 20 points. That's how he ended up in 13th place. All Day, Any Day 1 on PlayStation 4 is the name of the person in 12th place. How they get here? It was almost entirely on the raid last week. 2 streams on the raid and 4 items on the raid. One of them were how to find all 45 of the gingerbread man locations. One was how to get the Hotfoot merit. Another one was how to kill the specific bosses. One of the streams was on a flawless run. So being the highest quality, the 4 items that show how to do the raid give him 4 points apiece, which is 16 points, and the 2 streams, which is 2 points apiece, which is another 4 points, gives him 20 points. But because he had more content in the higher category, he wins the tie breaks over Nothing But Skills. In 11th place, also at 20 points, is Clint Flairwoo, and I've said this a bunch of times. The man is very, very nice. I've never heard anybody say they had an issue with him, probably because he doesn't hang out in the dark zone or play PvP, as we'll discuss a little later, has got kind of toxic, especially on other platforms such as PS4. But Clint Flairwoo here got here with only 5 videos. So you were wondering how somebody with 5 could beat somebody with 6. It all depends on those categories. And we do have a special one-time, 1 per week bonus of 5 points if you have a recurring program, which Woo does. It's called Woo the Community, and it's his opportunity to get his commentary across and include some of his player base on a subject that they've been talking about. So that's going to get him 2 points for the commentary and 5 bonus points for it being a recurring weekly event. He had 3 build videos, and then he had another commentary that falls more into an opinion or rant, so it falls under a general category, and that was called Arnon Jesus Hates Woo, and the subject was his exotic drops were trash. So that it falls in more general category instead of just a commentary. That's just his opinion, and so you can either love it or hate it. It's not a news, which is facts. It's not just a commentary, which are that person's findings. This is more their opinion, their view. A little less weight is ran on those kind of videos. So I'm using that as an example, and using him as an example to be able to explain that. And that's how he got his 20 points. Now, when I first made the countdown, this next person should have been on the countdown. But as I re-reviewed, which I do every time they make the top 13, noticed that all their videos had no narration, their build videos. Even though it does convey a pretty good understanding of the build, it might not help anyone watching the video understand why the build is made that way. So you need a narrative in there. Even if maybe you don't speak the language well, or you have maybe you can't speak or you don't like your voice, you can put text in there. You can put notes in there. Hey, check this out. Hey, this is why I use this. You know, take the time to make your videos understandable by anybody that watches them. And even if you don't, that's great. You do what you got to do for the players you have to. But there's no reason that we should promote somebody that doesn't take the time to make their builds clear when there's other people that do. So to separate the people, again, this is the best content creators, the best content of the week. So that's why there's a little bit of judgment here. I tried to take that out of the equation, but that's why he would have been on the top 13, but ended up falling out and helped somebody else get in here. Patrick comes in at 10th place now that JJ was out of the countdown. Patrick Wolf is here by himself at 10th place, and he had 3 build videos, 2 vendor resets, and 2 raid videos, and that's how he got here in 10th place. Jacob R24 is in 9th place, and he did that mostly on the success of the raid. He broke down each boss last week on how to get through it, the overall raid, how to get the welder mask, which is the completion of the raid. He broke down the Phoenix Down apparel, which had nothing to do with the raid, and he had a vendor reset. That ended up with enough points to get him here in 9th place. Now GC Rock is back on the countdown after a personal absence of almost 2 months. Now his other channel, The Second Wave, they missed the top 13 this week, didn't have as many streams. GC Rock got up here on the sole back of the Iron Horse raid. He shows you how to get the keys in one video. He shows you how to get the gingerbread, 45 gingerbread men in another. He walks you through some of the bosses. He shows you some of the builds. And this got him 8th place. Anytime Gaming is 7th place, and he did this on 4 different videos about each day of the Hollywood League, the global event. He had a raid walkthrough, and one that is especially falls into more stream category because there's no narration, so I can't put it up with the raid, and shows how busy he is as the head of that part of the boss, and all the valves and all the buttons you have to push to get the team through. That's a neat stream to watch. And then of course 2 vendor resets, and that got him 22 points, got him in this spot. King Macho's here in 6th place, and like so many this week, he got up here on the backs of the Iron Horse raid. Now, unlike a lot of us, he has over 29 completions. As of the end of this week, he probably has even more now. He's walking people through there left and right. Now, let me give you a little stipulation between PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC, and he's on PC. PC people can get headshots much easier with the keyboard and mouse, and yes, I know some of you Xbox people can set it up where you're using a keyboard and mouse. PlayStation, same way. I hear vibes on the player state of the game always saying, "Hear my clicking? No keyboard and mouse here." So it's kind of a badge of honor to be able to do it with a controller. It is more challenging. If you don't believe me, you can just look at the headshot kills on PC. There's hundreds of people over 100,000 kills, and there's only one on Xbox that's over 100,000, and I have over 40,000, and I'm 119th with headshot kills on all of Xbox. So that wouldn't even be in the top maybe 500-600, maybe even top 1,000 on PC. So they can get headshots a lot easier without a lot of skill of getting the controller in there like it does on consoles. So it makes the raid easier. It makes content and legendary easier. There's things about playing on the PC that you can't compare to the consoles. It's apples and oranges. That's why I highly recommend, if you're on PC, get a PC content creator to watch. That doesn't mean that you don't watch the Kamikazes or Van Dooms or Gamey Daddy or the Vibes. These guys got great things to say as well. But check out somebody that's on your content. If you're on Xbox, you should be watching somebody like Kamikaze Van Doom, Jacob R24, Clint Flairwoo, Born the Game is on Xbox, Mutant Cowboy, myself. There's a lot of other guys out there that are on Xbox, and you can check them out, but PlayStation's got tons. Cold Boy, a bunch of PvP people on Xbox, and some of them can get quite toxic. And we'll talk about that here after the countdown. But King Macho is usually the king, or right up there with Patrick Wolf on getting a lot of build videos. And many content creators follow him as well when it comes to build videos. But the last few weeks, he's been kind of the raid guy. There's other people up there. Again, on Xbox, one of my favorites is doing the same thing quietly. He's not a content creator. It's Raging Dragon 4. He's getting people through on their first walkthroughs. He's getting through the whole raid. He's getting those badges. He's helping get those items to complete their Regulus quest. So shout out to all you that's working hard to get new people and people that don't have an established team to get through there. So thank you. That's what the content's for, and that's why I made this program, is to shout out to all those. Now, I know we've spent a lot of time here with King Macho, but I'm saying because he does what he does and people do what they do like him, he deserves that extra shout out. Thank you for helping us with the Iron Horse raid, whoever you are. Thank you very much. Born to Game is no stranger to the countdown, but he hasn't been up here for a few months. And when he was, it was maybe 1 or 2 times. When Division 2, Year 2 started, Born to Game was always on the countdown. He always had something to say. And as it progressed, he got more and more angry. You could tell he loved the game if you really followed him, because he was so frustrated. And boy, he gave it to the devs, and boy, he gave it to Massive and Ubisoft. And there was even a point where he just quit covering it. He started covering a few other games, but you could tell this anger inside of him, and he just kept coming back to Division 2. So I'm going to specifically ask you all to watch a video. Now, some of you have told me you just can't watch Born to Game. He's just too negative. I got one for you to watch. It's called How to Have Fun. What? Born to Game? Doing a video? How to have fun? Yes. It's a change of pace. And even though I followed him, even through all the negativeness, and it does get a little bit too much when you just hear the same old negative Nancy over and over again, even though everything he says isn't completely made up. He's pointed out a lot of problems, and he will continue to do so, I guarantee it. But he has this different spark about him. And if you check out the video that he made for this week, was How to Have Fun, you might be one of those people jumping on the bandwagon. He just passed 50,000 subs. But with this kind of attitude, he can still point the direction of all the bad things that's happened and still be the Bill that we want him to be, that we enjoy watching. Because again, when you're so negative on every video, it's hard to watch. At least it is for me. Some of you guys may love that kind of content, but it's hard to watch, and after a while. But I cover all these content creators, and I watch a lot of their stuff to be able to, put them in the category and say, hey, this guy deserves this kind of accolade, and this person, well, they need to improve. But I'll encourage them. I'll get in there on their videos and say, Paul's up, the Bear's here, and I'm here to support. I subscribe to almost every content creator that makes Division 2 to show them support. Again, there's no reason that you can't support multiple people or all of them. They're all working hard for one reason, to help you. Now, I know what you're saying. They get paid. Well, some of them do. Here's how you got to get paid by YouTube. You have to have 1,000 subscribers in that first year. In the last year that you're making content that you get monetized, you have to have 4,000 hours of watched videos, and those have to be monetizable videos, meaning no copyrights. You got to watch your language. There's hoops to jump through. Now, YouTube makes their money by throwing ads. You may see one of my videos, this very video. If you see an ad on there, I get nothing of it. I'm not monetized. I have 200 and almost 80 subscribers, but I've only been doing this about 6 months. And this is kind of my baby, something to do different. So, again, going on a long time about Born to Game, and I haven't even covered all the videos he does. Now, he does a lot of videos each week, but a lot of them are commentaries, or it falls into that general category when he really gets down to the gritty and they become almost a rant. They only get a point. So he has to crank out a lot to even get on the countdown, and he does. He puts out a lot of content, but I'm telling you, check out some of his newest content. It's very positive, and it's not the same old Born to Game that you've seen. But I'm telling you, if Massive screws up again, and most likely will, it'll bring him back the old Bill that just... So, come on. Give him a second chance. Check out Born to Game. B2G, if that's what you want to, and for those that really have followed him, Bill, check him out. Online Gaming is here in fourth, and he was right up here last week, up here at the top end of the top 13, and he makes himself back up here again. He has been on YouTube since 2014, but he's been really cranking out a lot of Division 2 videos in the last month or so. He deserves you to check him out. Now, he could even have a better score, but some of his videos have been lacking a little narrative or just kind of streams. So he has some room for improvement with just a little bit of fine tuning to move up the chart. And I expect to see him up the chart as he hones his craft and becomes better each week. Man of War topped the charts last week, and he almost did it again this week with 28 points. And he had the most guides, the most how-tos, and they were pretty neat, and it was all over the place. And he did a great job of covering the Hollywood Global event. This got him a majority of his points for the week, which was 28, and got him here in third place. So who's second and who's first? Before we cover that, I want to make one last plea again. Man of War is at 986 subscribers. Only 14 to get that covenant 1,000 mark that every YouTube content creator needs to make that, to go into that next mode, to take that big step. So please, I'm making a plea for everybody to watch this. If you've not subscribed to Man of War, please go over there right now, check that like button, hit that subscribe button, take a few hours, put a few videos on review in the queue, and watch a few hours of content. You know, even if it's turning down the volume while you play or something, give him a few hours a piece and try to get his hours up so he can get monetized. So YouTube can actually have to share some of the money they're making off this guy's hard work, because right now he's not monetized and he is so close. So can you help a brother out and check out Man of War? And please subscribe. Second place was earned by yours truly. Kamikaze Van Doom has been on vacation with his family, and being a moderator on his Discord, I felt to kind of help out his fans, I would try to hit up each day and do the farm this. I call it the farm report. It's not something I normally do, and it's not something that I did prior to the last few weeks, except maybe on the weekends when I knew he was not getting up with his family. Kind of give that Discord the coverage. It wasn't maybe meant to go out there. I know there are a lot of you that just do not like the farm this or farm reports, but there are some that do. And it does seem that the people that top the charts are the people that are doing the weekly vendor resets, the Cassie Mendoza reset, and farm this every day. That's 9 videos, and that's 18 points by itself. And that's putting them up on the chart. So they do a few build videos, and they're right up here at the top. And we have been discussing this at the Board of Advisors on top 13, and we have made a decision that coming up very shortly, we're going to reduce the farm this or the buy this videos down to a point apiece. Now, we're going to see if we can hold off to the end of the quarter, which is just 7 weeks away. So we're halfway through quarter number 2. So I had 34 points this week, and how that is broken down is the 2 points for this program that I do every week, and the 5 bonus points because it's a recurring weekly original program. It gets that bonus point. Things like Clint Flairwoo does the Woo the Community. That gets 5 points. You Know the Vibes does Player State of the Game. That gives 5 points. When he does it on YouTube, when he does it on Twitch like he does now, he kind of misses out on that. Now, if he could reproduce it and put it on YouTube, I don't know how that works. But if it could get done, then he would get the 2 points for the commentary and 5 bonus points for that program. Back when Kamikaze Van Doom, last vacation he took last year, he did some stuff ahead of time, and he called it Kamikaze Conflicts, and he did every week he did these P versus P, and that's a neat program. I recommend some of you guys that are making just conflict or PvP, make it a program like that and feature people. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit. This would be a great time to discuss this. There was a player that has a content creator that has over 50,000 subs. He's a very competent content creator. Now, as a game player, as a PvPer, I don't think I've ever heard him say he's the greatest. But this week, he's had a bad week. He's had a number of content creators or streamers that have beat him and in the conflict, and his fans have jumped on these other guys. Now, yes, it levels to the level of an kind of toxic, to be honest. And I'm glad I don't see a lot of that on Xbox. It seems to be more on PlayStation 4. I don't know why that is, or maybe I just don't see it on Xbox. But there's no reason that we need to disrespect each other. If you're better than them, that's great. Us content creators spend a lot of time making videos, doing research, or we play around with builds. We're farming for something other than playing the same old thing every time and honing that to perfection. There are some that do. Like, for example, when it comes to sniping, I can honestly say that I have a little bit more to say about sniping, being 400,000 headshot kills on Xbox, which is really hard to do on console. On PC, that's just an average PC player. But on console, that takes some skill, that takes some building. I've been playing Aces since it came out, since we started running the raid back in May, and I was a lot of teams would say, "Hey Bear, you got your Aces? Come on, let's go do the raid." And went back before TU7 and Aces, you had to run all 6, and it was pretty, it was pretty squishy, and you still had to get all your kills, shots in at the right time so people could get their big powerful shot in. So you were the unsung hero that wasn't doing a lot of damage, but yet you were making a lot of things happen. So we're up to number 1, and it's time to discuss number 1 and what they've done. But I wanted to touch on that kind of public service announcement. When you're out there and you're beating people, you don't have to digress to bad language. 2 of the guys that Cold Boy was playing against, they actually have some of the best stats in PvP. I think it's something, I love Lux or something like that. He's actually like top 50. If you look our TRN and look up stats on PvP kills or player kills, he's way up there. And he does a lot of player versus player. Now, yeah, that's not my area of expertise. Some people may say that he uses the foam, he does this, he does that. I don't know. I don't get into that. I'm not into that part of the game. I'm just saying there's room for, just because you beat Cold Boy doesn't mean that Cold Boy's videos suck, or you should go in on his webpage and say, I'm going to steal all your content creators because you suck. That's not the way to be. The man puts a lot of time in making the videos to help people. Now, you may not believe what he has to say, or maybe you think that he's a cheat like Wids. Some people think Wids cheated, and the verdict's still out on that and don't look good. You may think you're copy other people's content, like some people got accused, like Willis Gaming. You may be a content creator that just jumps on the bandwagon every time something new comes out, like MTash used to do. These guys all make big content on a lot of games, and some of these guys are professional content creators. They make good videos, but that doesn't mean they're great players. It means they're good content creators. And some of you guys that watch this program say that your program sucks because these guys suck. They're not great. They produce videos, a lot of videos that week. That's how they get on this countdown. It's not because they got 100,000 views, and it's not because they're the greatest player ever. In my book on Xbox, Raging Dragon 4 would be up on this countdown, but he just makes a few streams. But I challenge any of you to get a team together and hit him up and tell him to get his best team together and go on a PvP or whatever. I challenge you. You're gonna have a tough tough fight on your hands. The man's a good player, and he plays with great players. And there's a lot of teams and a lot of players like that. But what I'm saying is we don't need to be toxic. And with all this stuff that's going on, we definitely don't need to use those kind of trigger words that some people may be taking offense to. I want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So the whole thing is, I don't want to get into that, I ban you, I don't do this, but there has to be some rules of decorum. Last thing is, I want to say, a new subscriber, Ganache Gaming, he was one of these people that ran into Cold Boy, and he made a video that made a statement, and you got to be careful when you make a statement like that. If you call somebody out, you should be able to prove it or not say it. I've said it before, we're journalists, and we need to be able to make statements that are true and factual and that we can back up. It may be true, but if we can't prove it, if Wids and somebody at Massive have, collaborated together to make the game better for whatever reason that they think is better, if we can't prove it, then we should leave our opinions alone. If we need to shine a light on it like Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer has done, without being malice, without being without going overboard and being name called. We can call somebody their ethics into question without calling them a cheater without the facts. So some of you have called that there are people that shouldn't be on this countdown because they've cheated before, because they do this, because they do that. And there's only one person that I've left off of the top 13 if they made it, which they haven't, and that was because there was a little legal battle a while back. But I still include his stats, I still include his name, I just don't include anything about him. I wish him well, if you guys know who that is. And for what I've seen, his content's got better and more on topic and less about cheating and less about the being a bully and stuff. So congratulations to him, and I hope he does well. And he's got a lot of followers. So it is time to hit number one. And number one has been up here a lot this year. And he hits number one again this quarter. He had never been hardly up on the at number one. He'd never been number one till this quarter, and now he's been up there almost every week. If he isn't number one, he's 2 or 3, and that is DJ SAS. He had 40 points, 6 more than the closest competitor, and this is how it broke down. Now, DJ SAS had 9 vendors. Was credited with 9 vendors. Now, if you check his webpage, you're going to see that there's 1 or 2 more. And what happened was when he did the weekly reset, he kind of broke it down into multiples. And when Kamikaze used to do that, and he broke it down into DC, New York, and then the clan vendors or any other vendors, still only gave him credit for 1 of the weekly resets of the vendors. For 1, if we just start chunking our videos and splicing them in little pieces and then calling it 10 videos, that wouldn't be as fair. So there is only 2 points is going to be awarded for any of the weekly vendors. You can make 10 videos if that's what your customers want, but you're getting 2 points, period. And I do that with everybody, including myself. Then there, Cassie Mendoza, 1 video a week, that's 2 points. And then 7 resets of farm this or buy this. So if you do split it up into New York and DC, you're still only going to get those points. And if you do multiple ones, then repeats aren't going to count. And again, vendors are capped at 10 a week. So there's one or two that didn't quite get 2 points because he could have had even more, but he's in first place and it doesn't matter. Now, when we break this down, he also had 4 season videos, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 of global event, like a few of us did. I had a day 1, day 2 as a one video combined, and then day 3, day 4. So he was able to do those, and those fall in the higher category because there are players that want that information, need that information, wait till the last second, then go, how do I do this? They need that information, so it's there. But I did have a very high regarded content creator that's been around, that's made a lot of videos, has very big following, and I take his advice very highly. And he said some of these content creators are making content that are only good for a day or a week at the most. So if you look at like what I did last week for the most part and what DJ has done this week, we see a lot of videos that a week from now nobody's going to watch. If you make a video about hunter mask, they could be watching that 6 months down the road. You know, the hunter's still there. You still do this, this, and this to get through the hunter. Now, builds change because Massive nerfs this and boosts that, and weapons change because of things that change. And Tuesday's going to be a lot of this. Tuesday 10.1 comes out, and there's stuff that's going to go up and stuff that's going to go down. There's brand sets that could change. We'll see that when it comes out. So expect a lot of differences coming down with that. But what I'm saying is to content creators, sometimes you got to think in the long run how good it is for the community. So when we're breaking down this 40 points, how much of it is good past a day or 2 or 3? But here's what I'm telling any content creator. Doesn't matter what the people that have been doing this, that have made thousands of dollars being professional video gamers, make. If you have 20 followers and your 20 followers want to see a farm this or buy this video, do it. That's what it's for. If you're doing it to be in the top 13, there's 60 people watch this video each week. It's very disheartening. I wish there was more, because a lot of you guys need the credit that I'm trying to shine on you. Because even the guy that makes 1 or 2 videos, if we encourage him a year from now, maybe he's the next Cold Boy or Identity, or when people like Jetforth and Wids and Nothing But Skills, they go to other games or quit making videos like some of them have done. Even Gamey Daddy had 3 points this week because he said Massive's taking a break and so am I. I'm going to start playing some other games. And he played that Ghost of, I can't even pronounce the name, it's some Japanese name. He's playing that game this week, and some of you are, some of the content creators are playing Warzone. So again, this is nothing against DJ SAS, it's just pure facts. Most of the videos that are made, even by me, are good for just a short period of time. And it is great to see when those videos, when he made videos about like how to get the hunter mask, how to do something in the game, how to improve your play style, how to improve tactics. These last a long time. Some of my most watched videos over the last 6 months that I've been making content are those videos that people can watch today as much as they did 4 months ago when they were made. But a farm this report, as it's been pointed out to me, is kind of worthless. And a lot of times, by the time I get off of work and I got the video remade, ready to go, I said, I got to fine tune it. And I send it out there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's sometimes only a few hours left in the day. And that information's no good. Only for a few hours. So it is counterproductive. I did it to kind of fill in for the people that I thought might want to see it on Kamikaze's Discord, since Kami was on vacation. But to be honest, the feedback that I got once I started making them was a lot of people's like, I hate those. I hate them, and I hate you content creators that waste our time making them. You know, I'm smart enough to pull up my menu and see where the stuff is. I don't need some idiot telling me where it is. Thought that was kind of bold, but it's got some truth to it. But let me say one more time, if your people, if the 270 or 280 people or the 1,000 or 10,000 people that follow you, that subscribe to you, want the content you're making, do it. But if they don't, or they would like something better, listen to them. Include them. So I'm going to tell you guys that are watching my video right now, you're my customers, you're my fans, you're the reason why I make this. I do want you to reach out to DJ SAS, to Online Gaming, to definitely Man of War, to myself, to Kazakami Van Doom, to Jacob R24, to everybody on the list. Anybody that made a video today, I want you to reach out there and subscribe to them. They're putting in some hard work. So go ahead and do that. So we're going to close this out. I'm going to run down the people that do openly support the channel and where they fell this week. We have some real veterans that have always been on the countdown that weren't at the top. We're going to show those. And then we're just going to display everybody that I know of that made a video that I'm tracking this week. And we're up to 242 people that we're tracking any given week. Now, some of them haven't made a video in 6, 8, 10 months. You know, Marco Style has not made a video in a long time. Sleepio has made less than 10 videos in a year and a half since the first few months the game came out. And those guys are kind of embroiled in the middle of did they cheat, did they not cheat kind of thing. And does anybody really want to follow them? You know, is FPS and his speed runs? I mean, everything seems to be a headshot. He's PC. I really have a tough time trying to explain some new guys that were like, man, I watched this guy on PC and, you know, on YouTube, and he had such great content, and, you know, I got this build and I can't, you know, I'm getting owned. Well, he's playing on a PC. He's using a mouse and a keyboard, and he's getting every headshot. And maybe he's even using a program because it's a PC, that an aimbot or something. But some of these guys are either just that good, or an FPS is played long enough in Division 1, Division 2. He clearly could just be that good. He does a lot of run-throughs. Everything's a headshot. And got to remember, he's playing on PC, which makes it a little easier to do. Like to hand you a PS4 controller or an Xbox controller and put you with a camera with no possibility. Let's see if you can hit those headshots. I believe he probably could. Again, he's played the game long enough that he knows how to play the game. Now, did he cheat during the raid? It looks like he did. But we'll let that investigation fall where it is. If you do want to follow that a little bit more, I recommend to check out a very responsible investigative video from a week or two ago. Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer did a great investigation, as much as he could do on it. So if you want to know that subject and be talking semi-intelligently about it, because there's a lot of stuff that even he couldn't figure out, and there may be stuff that we never know about, but it has cast a shadow on how we play. And as you watch videos, you should be aware what the content creator that you're watching, what system he plays on. If you're trying to emulate his style and he's on PC, it just probably isn't going to happen. Does that mean what he's telling you isn't true? No, that doesn't mean that. What it does mean is you may be having a tougher time. You may have to actually be a better player to do the same thing that they do on whatever console they do. And there may be something we do on PlayStation or Xbox that makes it easier for us than PC, but for the most part, I don't see that. Okay, let's go over to the people that made it this far and some of the people that made content, that the big names that you want to see, and they just didn't have content this week. Gamey Daddy being one of them. Kamikaze Van Doom, 0. He's on vacation and he's got his priorities right. Family should always take precedence first. The love of my life walks into the door today and says, Tracy, this video gets shut off right now and doesn't get made. I'm out the door. She's more beautiful than any of you guys and deserves all the attention. You know, the sad thing is the coronavirus and our time apart has kind of made that not happen. So I wish it would, and I would, no offense, but I'd throw all you in this game right underneath the bus to be with her. So let's get to those statistics. So I've tried to touch base and hit the highlights, but I want to give a shout out to each one of these people. These are people that are usually up there that didn't quite make it. Kamikaze Von Doom, 0 points. Lust for Gaming just had a few, as did Sergeant Graybeard. Gamey Daddy only had 1. Thanks, Dance of Dragons had 17 points. Infamous Trickster was up there. Anytime Gaming, of course, you've seen him on the countdown aspect of skills. Mute Cowboy just barely missed the countdown. These are all people that we see up there on a regular basis, and these guys all support the channel as well. So shout out to King and Queen Floyd, Stalker 84 SO8. Hardly Gaming's been having some gaming issues. Ganache Gaming, thank you for subscribing to the channel and supporting it. Again, we had a great discussion about this whole item of how they kind of felt bullied by another party, Cold Boy, and how he thought they were coming across as maybe elitist. He used a different word that I don't really want to promote because I don't think that was quite the saying. I would hate to see somebody actually being that. So all these people made at least one video this week, and any of them could, with a few breakout videos, can find themselves up the top. Hopefully you see your name here. If you made a video between 7 July and 13 July, and you see your name up either on the top 13 as the shout outs as a supporter or as a veteran that usually is up here, and you don't see your name up here, please contact me. I need to get your data in there. Somehow I'm missing you. And I always find some new people out there, and some I found out that have been making videos for a long time. But every time I do a search in all my search engines, their name has never popped up until boom, all of a sudden it's there. And then once I start finding it, then my search engine finds it. For one, I subscribe to each one, so I go down through my subscription list. So I subscribe to each and every one of these. There's been a few exceptions. There was like I say, we had a disagreement with one person that kind of ended badly, and I kind of leave them alone for the most part. I still do track them, and if they do a great video, I still give them a shout out. I still give them credit. You'll see their name up there. But I don't go over the board to do anything that could get myself copyrighted or in any kind of judgment. I'm not trying to cause issues. I had an opinion about a subject and I aired it, and it was taken kind of wrong. I disagreed with a person. You know, I've disagreed with one of my good friends, Kamikaze Van Doom. We had a total disagreement on how to handle the whole glitch issue. He wanted to make it public so Massive would be forced to make a change about it, even though he didn't use it. He made a video about it, but he wanted people to get in there, and if everybody went in there and did it, then Massive would have to ban the whole game. Well, not everybody got in there and did it. So maybe I'm the problem, because everybody says, well, if you didn't do it, you're a liar or a cheater. Well, I didn't do it, and I won't do it. And some of the people that know me the best, talk to Raging Dragon 4 and some of these guys, talk to Kamikaze. You know, I kept telling them, and they kept telling me, you'll be the only one not getting stuff done because you won't glitch. And I'm like, well, then I'll be that Boy Scout, and that'll be me. So there's a few more that I don't have on the list. A lot of it is being a person with some faith. There are some people that just, their language is way beyond what something I want to promote. I understand that there's cuss words. I get frustrated, and I lapse myself every once in a while, especially when people are toxic toward me. I have reverted back a few times, and I feel very bad about it. But I don't get on a video and every other word is a cuss word. And those kind of people that I hope they find their way. I want to promote them, but in all good conscience, I can't promote somebody that's using any kind of racial language, racial slurs. I don't care if you're Polish, you're making fun of Polish people. No, I'm not going to promote your video. If you're Jewish and you're making Jewish jokes or stuff like that, or you're black and you're using, you know, the forbidden word, I don't want to promote your channel. It's nothing against you. It's just there's so much wrong in the world today. We're playing a game about fighting all the wrongs in the world, fighting a pandemic while we're hiding out from a pandemic. And here in America, it's not getting any better. Some of the states have had their worst day ever just today. So that's everything I got to say. I tried to do this video to give everybody a shout out. I was also asked to really lay down how people are making their score, where I'm judging people at, and like I tried to tell everybody else, I've tried to make a system where I'm not judging anybody. It's a black or white. I can put this in a program and say, okay, as long as your video is put in the program correctly, it would say you got this many points. You got this many penalties. It's a mathematical formula. It doesn't take me going, oh, I like this, I'll give it a 10. You know, I don't like that, I'll give it a 2. No, it doesn't work that way. If it's a stream video and you're streaming, it's a 2 points, which gets capped. And we went over all that. Again, an hour-long video. We got to cut this down. This is the reason why I make it short and sweet. And this video has now been an hour long, so that's why I do what I do. But I tried it their way. A few key people wanted to hear all the statistics. We'll see how many of you actually watch. Now I have earmarked each person on there, and I'll try to, once the video is made up, I will try to put on at the beginning where each person is. And one of these days I'll learn how to make a link up at the front so you can actually link to that person that was on the top 13, so you can check out their page as well. If you guys know how to do that better, I'm willing to be a student to any of you that want to teach me. This is Bear Essentials. I am Bear Byers, and this has been way too long of a video, but we covered a lot of subject matter, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye.